Hello, my name is Christian Ferran, and today I will be discussing my article on Explaining Radicalization in the Digital Age by Christine Archetti. So let's dive into this thesis of this article, which is to demonstrate the understanding of communication in the 21st century is essential to more effectively counter terrorism. Her first point is the crucial misunderstanding that characterizes the current communication approach to counterterrorism, being that the tactic is extremely outdated. Like, we're talking about World War I, World War II ideology. Now, the tactic in question is to combat terrorism by replacing the terrorist message like leader or power associated with it with an anti-terrorist message. You see this prevalent a lot, let's say in Israel or the Middle East, where they will put a puppet or like a figurehead, just I support America or whatever country that established them. And in reality, no one really follows them, they're very unfavored. The key thought process behind replacing the replacing the terrorist message with the anti-terrorist message is that public opinion changes passively. Now, what this means, for instance, is that since it's the holiday season, companies are constantly targeting us with ads at mass volume and try and change our perception about their product. So let's take any example. I'll go with something simple like a car. Let's take an Audi. An Audi that you see, a consumer, you see it marketed sleek, everybody wants it, very good, everything that you want in a car. And if us consumers just watched it, it'd be like, oh, suddenly I need to go out and I need to buy an Audi because this is the best car ever. And we just do this passively and obliviously. And then obviously people don't do that. So that's like a key easy identification that's obviously the problem. The second point of this article tries to engage with the strategic communication approach to counterterrorism, which tends to point the internet in a demonized way, not really friendly, oh, this is the place where bad things happen. The dark alleys of the cyberspace is regarded as the breeding grounds for radicalization and recruitment of ISIS in the US. When in reality, this problem in the view as technology advances has always been there. It's like, imagine just a poster on the side of the street, and the world is a busy street. You can interact with the poster if you want to. You can obliviously ignore the poster, or you just don't even notice the poster at all. And therefore, it's like people will interact with what they want to interact. The negative assessment of the internet being bad shows a lack of historical analysis, because this problem has been there always. If we talk about social problems, fraud, deception, targeted ads, everything, like the newspaper and phone calls, spam phone calls. We're talking about in the ads, gotta get this, buy one get one free. All these tactics were there before the internet was even created. In these old roots. Now, terrorists commonly use these old root forms of communication because they're unmonitored and easy to push your agenda and not really interacted by governments or anti-terrorist measures. Now, the argument above shows individual versus collective narratives. Now, individual narratives is a person understanding the world and their role, and that is kind of morphed by their relationships, whether it be the views that their friends have, that their parents have, what type of environment they grew up in, Catholic, conservative, liberal, democratic. That's what really shapes them. And the internet allows you to kind of branch out and experience indirect relationships that you would have never had before this. And along with like outreaches to politicians or social movements like BLM, or let's say like synthesizing with I don't know, any political figure like Democratic running or even the president, anything like that. For the instance of the person, like the instance that these people only want to hear what they believe in. So many of these people are kind of in a closed-minded set where they feed off of each other. Where, oh, let's say someone is a Republican conservative. They're only going to be watching Fox News, and they're only going to be wanting to hear mediums that support Trump. Now, the problem with this is that it's pretty much like an echo chamber, where they only accept, oh, Trump can't be doing wrong, and they only go to sources like that. And the same is on the left, but what the problem is that they're not really expanding their horizon, and that leads into a collective narrative where they sign in with people that are like-minded and also share their narrative. And you can see how that slowly divides an ideology or mindset. And the final point that I want to make is disproving the internet, whether it be responsible for radicalization or it actually helps promote all these social movements, creates parodies such like charities like Plant a Tree, or just activism, social movements, things that people wouldn't normally unify and be able to speak out and protest are actually given a voice compared to this, and they absorb the medium. Now, a person that goes on the internet and really looks for bad things will find bad things. You don't need to tell a coming terrorist that, oh, they need to watch all these bad things to get this bad mindset. No, they're already they don't need like-minded individuals, even though that strengthens their reach and obviously their progression. It's like those thoughts are already in their mind, and it truly fuels their ideology and how they think. In conclusion, understanding communication through the internet is essential to fight terrorism and is our main source of counterterrorism. By renewing tactics such as not using the tactic of replacing a terrorist power with an anti-terrorist message, therefore causing tensions, causing misalignment in movements, or the internet being perceived as a breeding ground for terrorism when it is actually responsible for the creation of social outreach and indirect relationships, whether it be through politicians, social movements that allow people to grow and create a stronger ideology and form stronger bonds and really change their perception, and not allow this narrative of single-minded hard-headedness echo chamber where people just align on a social idea and really block out any other narratives that a person has and causes these types of conflict. And thank you so much for watching my discussion, and I hope everybody has a great day.